This drug poisoning crisis is not getting any better, it's getting worse, and nurses know that there's a need for action and evidence-based action.
Some BC nurses and doctors have signed an open letter supporting the Drug User Liberation Front in Vancouver, whose founders may be facing charges because of its illegal Compassion Club program. One registered nurse is encouraging healthcare workers to take a stand for DULF.
I can see folks being worried about speaking out on this issue, but again, I would just reiterate that it is so important that nurses and other healthcare workers are raising our voices and speaking out and condemning the lack of action when it comes to meaningfully addressing the drug poisoning crisis.
Last month, Vancouver police officers raided DULF's offices in the downtown east side and arrested its founders, who have since been released. For over a year, the advocacy group was buying illicit drugs off the dark web, testing them for purity, and giving them out to a group of people to prove it could reduce overdoses and deaths. Last week, hundreds marched through downtown Vancouver to support DULF's founders, calling for the Crown not to lay charges.
For Eris and Jeremy, it was always about saving lives.
The DULF Solidarity Committee is behind the open letter signed by numerous organizations and healthcare workers in Canada and around the world condemning the arrests.
The committee is just hoping to really impress upon the public and also most on the powers that be that there's a groundswell happening here where people are saying, look, we do have the capacity to save people's lives. They do not have to die.
Last week, BC Coroner's Service said 175 British Columbians died from toxic drugs in September and called on the government to let people access opioids and stimulants without a prescription. In response, BC's Addictions Minister Jennifer Whiteside said moving away from a prescription model is not on the table.
We're now 7 years into a drug poisoning crisis. The need to act is long overdue, so definitely encourage all nurses, healthcare workers to get your voices out there and to really call on government to act further.
Charges against DULF's founders haven't been announced, but the VPD says it could recommend drug trafficking charges. In Vancouver, Kier Junos, City News.